today's topic, I'm gonna be talking about things confident people don't feel the need to explain. My name is Yemi Adams, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So, um, growing up, I used to think confidence was all about knowing what to say, what time, and all along I was wrong. And now I think sometimes the most confident thing you can do is to stop explaining yourself. Like, I think a lot of us were raised to believe that we have to explain ourselves, in order to be understood. That's wrong. And here is why. We feel like if we say no, we need to give a reason. We feel like when we change our mind about something, we feel like we owe people, an explanation like, okay, this is why I'm changing my mind. No. And if we don't show, I'm African, I'm Nigerian, I do not attend Owambe for some personal reason. And when people invite me and I don't show up, I do not explain myself. Because when I'm being invited, I literally let them know, okay, I'm going to be there, I'm not going to be there. I do not lie. I confidently tell them if I am going to be there or not. But people who know me, who are close to me, know that I do not like attending African parties. I do not say I do not go to any African parties, but I literally choose wherever I want to go. And if I don't show up, I don't feel guilty. I do not have one guilt in me when I don't show up when I'm supposed to. Because, life happens. I think a lot of us were raised to, believe we have to explain ourselves in order to be understood. That's a no-no for me. We feel the need to give reasons whenever we change our minds. We feel like we owe people an explanation on why we didn't show up, and then we feel guilty. And we sometimes, even feel like we have to defend the career we choose, the people we associate with, the boundaries we have, or simply the way we choose to live our lives. That is a capital no. And I just want y'all to understand, like, now that I've grown and that I've matured, I've realized something. Confidence is not always about having the perfect explanation for situations. Sometimes confidence is just being comfortable with your own decisions, even when someone doesn't understand it. They don't have to, and that's a fact. So today, I just want to talk about some things confident people don't feel they need to explain. So first, why you said no. No is a complete sentence. Like, I don't have to explain why I said no. My no should be no. Everyone understand what yes and no means. So I don't have to always explain myself why I cannot attend your event, why I don't want to do something, or why I don't want to, lend or give out my money, and why I'm choosing not to participate in a particular thing. It could be a program, it could be a girls' night or a girls' night out. It could be anything. I don't have to explain myself. If I'm telling you I'm not available, I believe that should be it. I don't have to go to the extreme and tell you, I don't want to be there because there's someone that I don't like, or because it's going to cost me a lot of money, or because I have the kids and I won't have time. No, my no should be no. Like, with my child. Feel me? And sometimes something's just simply doing line, and that's okay. Trust me, it is okay. You don't have to create a long explanation to make it not acceptable to anyone. Anyone, I repeat, friends, family, colleague, co-workers, your boss. Your no should be no. You don't have to go to the extreme of explaining. I mean, we've long past that era. So, yeah. I think people sometimes treat changing your mind like it's a weakness, but changing your mind can actually be a sign of growth. Unlike what happened to me recently. My friend invited me out to girls' night out. So it was actually dinner, I'm gonna be sincere, and then she's like, oh, let's go out and eat and stuff like that. I'm gonna have some of my other friends around, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I mean, we can do that. And after dinner, everything was going on well. Like, we were all having fun, talking, gisting. And after we were done, we paid our bills, and she's like, you know what, girls, let's go to the club. And I'm like, no, I'm going home. In my 20s, I would party till like 9 a.m. But at this age, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. I love my bed more than anything. You don't have to remain committed to the old version of you. That's it. Because other people remember who you used to be. That doesn't mean you should be with the one you used to be. We evolve, we grow. I mean, growth means your opinion can change, your priorities can change, your goals, even the things you once tolerated, so can become things you no longer accept. So why have any issue with that? If you're my friend, you shouldn't, or if you're someone who is close to me or someone who knows me, you shouldn't have any problem with that. So I do not owe anyone an explanation for my evolution, and so do you. So the third thing, why you don't attend everything. I know that's a question you guys have in mind. As you get older, you start to realize that being invited doesn't mean you have to attend. And that's a fact. And you don't have to be everywhere. That's just it. You don't have to attend every parties, every gatherings, every event, every dinner, social, club, occasion, just to prove that you care about people. No, I would send my gift. I would send the token that I have, but I'm not gonna be everywhere. Like, I do not. Sometimes I just choose to rest, stay home, cook, be with my family. Just choose my peace, basically. And sometimes you simply just don't feel like going. Most times I would talk to my friends and would be like, oh, let's go to this place. And recently I just noticed when it's getting to that hour of me getting up from my bed or my couch to go get ready, I just don't feel like going. Like, I just feel tired, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. I just want to lay in bed. I just want to stay in my house. So change happens, shit happens, and that shouldn't be a worry. Confident people should understand that your absence doesn't automatically means that you're disrespecting the person. It's just you choosing your peace over satisfying people, period. So, to my yummy ladies, I also want you to know that sometimes you just need to think about your peace. You just need that space to think, space to breathe, reset, space where nobody needs anything from you. Do y'all know there's a difference between being alone and being lonely? Sometimes solitude is where you hear clearly, like where you can hear yourself clearly. And that's a fact. When you're constantly surrounded by people's opinion, notification, expectation, and responsibilities, it can be difficult sometimes to hear yourself. So you need some time alone. Take it, girl. Take it. Take that ETO. Take that time out. Take that sick leave. Just take it. When you feel like you need a break, take a break. That's just it. And you don't have to apologize for needing space. I do it most of the time. I just like stay away from every activity, stay away from my friends. And when they call me, I'm gonna say no, I'm not. Like, I'm staying home. And sometimes we just need it to reset. And things. One thing for sure that I would say is you don't have to respond immediately. I'm pretty sure y'all know that. So I used to have this friend. Whenever she texts me, she wants she wants me to respond like ASAP, and I wasn't doing it on purpose at some point. But I realized when I call her back, she's not gonna pick up also, and then it's gonna take her the same exact minute, hours, seconds that I took to respond to her for her to get back at me or get back to me, basically. And when I noticed the pattern, I'm like, nope, you're not gonna play this game with me, and we're definitely not playing this game. So I just let her be, and honestly, I just respond to her whenever I want to respond to her. Okay, because your boundary don't exist to make anyone or everyone comfortable. They are there to protect your peace, your time, your energy, your values, and sometimes your future, baby. So you don't have to explain why you don't tolerate some certain things, such as disrespect. And you don't have to explain why you don't entertain some certain behaviors. And you definitely don't have to keep lowering your standard just because someone else thinks they are too high. So one thing I've learned is that the more secure you become within yourself, which I am still working on right now, the less interested you become in convincing other people of your decisions. And that's the truth. You stop saying, let me explain myself so you can understand me. Nope. That is not confidence. Confidence is when you say, this is what I've decided and I'm comfortable with it, period. That's confidence. Confidence is not being loud, isn't proving yourself that you're right to everyone or anyone. It's sometimes confidence just being able to sit in silence while someone misunderstood you or misunderstand you, which I get a lot. Sometimes it's just walking away without explanation. I have lost so many friends that just not by talking to them, we just kind of like grow out of friendship. And that's okay also. Sometimes it's changing your mind without shame, saying no without guilt. Sometimes it's choosing yourself without needing, anyone's approval or approvals. So, and sometimes, honestly, I think that's one of the most beautiful forms of maturity, getting to a place where you no longer feel the need to constantly explain who you are, what you're doing, what decision you're making, and why you choose to live in a certain way. Because at some point you realize your life is not a courtroom. You don't have to defend every decision. No. You don't have to convince everyone. No. You don't have to understand everyone or everybody, including that your boss or your bestie or your family member. And you just have to be honest with yourself, be intentional with your choices, and be at peace with the person you're becoming, the person you're growing up to become, or the person you're aiming and looking forward to become. And sometimes most confident responses isn't an explanation at all. It's simply, I understand that you may not agree, but I'm okay. You have to be honest with yourself, be intentional with your decisions, your choices, and be at peace with the person you're becoming. And sometimes the most confident response isn't an explanation at all. That I have known for over a decade now. And, you know, I understand that you may not agree, but I'm okay with my decision. It can be as simple as that. Then you keep moving. So, to all my yummy folks out there, I hope you start building your confidence. And what I also still have my flaws that I'm still working on, and I wish y'all nothing but the best. And I hope to see you guys soon. Bye bye.